The reason number one to buy an electric car right now is time sensitive. Is the tax credit that's ending, so you're not gonna get that $7,500 or those $4,000 from the government anymore in order to buy your EV. September 30th, that's the end of it. That's the reason number one why to buy an electric car right now. There's so many more reasons. I'm gonna list all the reasons I can think of why would I buy an electric car, but the reason number one, it's purely time sensitive. It's just because we're running against the clock. September 30th, that's the last date you can buy a car. You can sign for a delivery later and still get it, but September 30th is the day. That's the second reason I would buy an electric car right now is because of the growth trends. It's because most cars are going to be electric pretty soon, and not just based on what Tesla's doing or Rivian or all the other electric brands, but what every brand will be doing pretty soon. All the classic brands, Porsche, BMW, Ford, all of them are going to transition to electric, and that's happening now. So the future is coming really quick and it's electric, and that's the third reason why to buy an electric car is gas savings. And this comes from me who has to use the supercharger because I don't have a charger at home. I live in a condo and we do not have chargers out here in the parking lot. So I have to use the supercharger. Gas savings, or the money I have to spend on charging the car, is almost a third of what I would spend on a regular gas car. On a regular size SUV car, that's about a third of what I would spend on my old car. I used to have a Mazda Tribute, so when comparing that to the Model Y now, I'm spending like a third. And again, that's despite the fact that I have to use the supercharger. If I had access to a charger at home, savings will be crazy. The cutting that in half would be like a quarter of what I would spend on gas. And that's the fourth reason to buy an electric car is environmental. It's much better for the environment. It's cleaner, much more quiet ride, and uh, in general, it's just more clean to drive and to move around in one of these cars. You notice it right away. There is no smoke coming out of anywhere. There's no pail. There's no exhaust pipe, and no fumes coming out of these cars. It's very clean, and in the long run, having less pieces, less parts, less friction, brakes are barely used, being that the system itself regenerates from the braking action instead of using the brake pads. Then the motor is generating electricity that's moved back to the battery. There's so many things that make these cars so much more environmentally friendly, and that's the fifth reason to buy an electric car is space. There's a lot of space. Since the car doesn't have a transmission, it doesn't have an exhaust pipe, you're not going to see any of that uncomfortable bulges in the middle of the car that most gas engine would have. In the electric car, that's not a thing. So you have a flat space in the back for whatever, for a yoga mat, for bags, or for whatever. And especially if you're carrying a person there in the middle, their feet are not going to be lifted because the floor underneath is flat. So that's amazing. It's just more comfort for the person in the back. Also, space carries on, at least in Tesla and many other brands, but you see that they have a trunk space in the back like any car, but they also have space in the front, a frunk. And that's amazing. If you're carrying something smelly, carry out dinner. You're amazing dinner, but you don't want the car to smell like that for weeks. Just put it in front, and it's gonna be safe, and it's gonna be away from the main cabin, the main interior cabin. That's amazing. Space also for yourself. Roof is pretty high. there's a lot of space in here. So a tall person, 6 feet, 183 meter person could comfortably fit inside of the car, both in front and also in the back. That applies on both, at least in the Model Y. Most cases are going to be the same, similar, but in the Model Y is particularly good, and benefits translate into that. And that's the sixth reason to buy an electric car is convenience of use. And again, that has to do with the charging, with the superchargers. If you have a home, if you have a garage, so much more. You're never going to see a gas station again in your life. But this refers to the superchargers. The network is immense, and you don't really grasp the extension of work that Tesla has developed in order to put all of those points all over the country. United States, Mexico, Canada, Europe, Australia, anywhere that Tesla is present, the network is the biggest charging station network anywhere you find yourself, even China, I think. Um, so what people believe that is a very cumbersome thing to do, which is the charging, it becomes a really easy thing to do. And again, if you have a home, you don't even think about it. You don't even worry about having any charge ever, because it's always there. There's always a little bit of a charge to be gained anywhere. The superchargers are anywhere, or if you have 15 minutes, just plug it and you'll have enough to go do whatever it is that you need to do. It's convenience. That's the seventh reason to buy an electric car, the cost of maintenance, and this is separate from the energy costs, from the cost of charging the car. No, this is a separate entity. This is in regards to what it costs to maintain your car, right? So in a regular gas car, you'll have to do oil changes, you'll have to do spark plugs every now and then. You'll have to change your brakes with certain regularity. Many items that you have to take care of in order to make sure that your car remains safe and operable. Electrics, a little bit different, very different. An electric motor, it's quite simple, way more simple than a gas engine. Way less parts, less friction, and that basically translates into savings. You do not have to do any oil changes. There is no brakes that you have to take care so often, because um, the system itself is recuperating that energy and it's not using your brakes as much. So you'll see that the brake pads don't wear almost at all. um, what else? There's no spark plugs. There's no liquids for the transmission, because there's no transmission. Um, when you think about almost every item that you have to take care on a regular gas car, an electric car doesn't have that. Now, alignment of your wheels, rotation so that the tires wear evenly, sure, but that's something that maybe you could even do on your own, maybe, or that it's basically $20 at the closest shop somewhere around you. So it's savings. It's a very, maybe doesn't look that much from the outside, but it does. It does saves you a lot of money, especially if you like to drive quite a bit. Yeah, electric is the way to go. And that's the eighth reason to buy an electric car. That's performance and instant acceleration. You may be aware that by now the fastest, most powerful cars out in the market are electric. And that basically has to do with the way an electric engine works, an electric motor works. there's no pistons that need to develop any RPMs in order for you to move. An electric engine, as soon as it gets electricity, as soon as you press the pedal, it gets all the power that you like to send from the battery over to the electric motor, and thus you get instant acceleration. You get a full power if you like. Of course that there is different models, of course that every brand will have different setups, and then of course you'll see that certain cars are way faster than others. You'll see the Tesla Model S Plaid, the Lucid, now you got the Chinese with the SU7, apparently 1500 horsepower. That is crazy, and that's stock, no modifications whatsoever. They're the fastest and the most performance driven cars there is, while at the same time uh, giving you a car that you can take to the supermarket, that you can go in a short trip to. It's the same car. It's all included: performance, instant acceleration, and that's the nine reason to buy an electric car. um, Goes back to the benefits that some cities, some governments give in order to purchase or just to hold your EV, just to own your car. So, the United States used to have a $7,500. Well, still does. Depends on when you're seeing this, but by September 30th, 2025, the $7,500 incentive that the government was giving expires. But that's just one of the things. Many states individually they also grant some benefits, some incentives in order for people to buy EVs, and not just that. Uh, many highways uh, do have these high occupancy lanes, and in many cases those can be used by electric vehicles or hybrid vehicles. Just need to do some paperwork, and then again it depends on what city, what state you are, maybe your country. Many countries around the world will have similar benefits. I know Colombia, because I'm Colombian. I have both. Um, they do have something that's called pico in placa, and one a day a week you have to stay in. You cannot take your car out. Well, if you have a hybrid or an electric vehicle, there you'll be able to drive your car anytime you want. So yeah, that's and the 10 reason to buy an electric car. I'm going to sum up a few of the others I already talked about. Environment first, because it's just more eco-friendly to drive one of these cars. Is in the short and in the long run, it's just more eco-friendly to drive one of these cars. You can pretty much recycle all the pieces, every single thing everywhere around the car. It can be recycled. But then it's also logistics. Electricity is found everywhere. All you need is a power outlet, really, to charge your car. It may take longer, but again, if just like a cell phone that you keep overnight, charging overnight, it's gonna be there for you in the morning. And not even don't even have to do this every night. A full charge depends on the car you drive, but let's say it's a modern Model Y, a new Model Y, you're gonna get over 300 miles on a full charge. So, do you drive 300 miles a day that you need to charge it every day? No. Um, it's better for the planet. It's more efficient in the logistics. Remember, power outlets are found anywhere. If you're inside a room right now, there's probably like four of those around you, at your office, anywhere. Imagine you're in a little town in the middle, somewhere in the middle of America, and there is three gas stations in the whole town. Three gas stations, but I can assure you that every household is full of power outlets. And then, if for whatever reason the electric grid fails, you can always rely on the sun. You can always get many different options in order to produce electricity. Even um, even generators, as funny as that may sound, but that's like a plan D, because you could get solar panels, you could get hydro, you could get energy from wind. Uh, so many options that you can have in order to get electricity, and it's right there, it's everywhere. And that's